boss. I'm under mine. I'll try to give you what you like. I can be soft, I can be hard.
Is Mor Gage real? And Will Burson answered the question, but I'm gonna touch in on it a little bit and piggyback on it. To me, Mort Gage is real, but he's not one person. To my understanding, Mort Gage is a society of people that choose to look down upon the people that choose to live free. And this society of Mort Gage is the people that don't want to see people van drilling, don't want to see people living in their van, don't want to see people, just trying to get by, maybe living in their car, or maybe living in their RV parked at Walmart. These people are the society of Mort Gage. And they would rather prefer you go with the system. And the system is like the American dream, having a house, having 2 or 3 cars, having, the dog, the picket fence, and having all these things, And if you're not going with that flow, then, you're not with the system. And the system, I believe, is Mort Gage. I believe the system is like I said, people that want you to be living the way they're living. And not everybody could do that, or not everybody could obtain that, or not everybody has the proper knowledge and the schooling to do such things. And that is the society of Mort Gage. It's bigger than one person. And for me, like I choose to live in my van because I can't afford an apartment in my situation right now. And now when I start doing better, do I want to get an apartment? Do I want to get a house? I used to dream about being a truck driver, and then, I was adding up all the money that I'd be making, and I was like, man, I could buy me a house. But now that I know what I know, I'd rather live a simple life. I'd rather have a quality way of living versus over the quantity. I'd rather have a quality way of living, which is going out, having fun, doing the small things, like going out, like to the river, or, like going out for vacations, or going on a cruise eventually, or just doing small, simple stuff that, make me happy. Now, the people that are inside the Mort Gage society, they're usually working every day, and they're usually living above their means. So which means that they could have a nice car, they could have a nice house, they could have the kids and all this other stuff. But what comes along with that is they're barely just getting by too. But on the outside, when people look at them, they're thinking like, man, dude, you got it together, you got it made, When in reality, due to the economy and due to what's going on in these days, they're living maybe from paycheck to paycheck too, maybe with a little bit of savings in an account, But those are people that they look at people that live in their van as like being homeless. And we all know that if you're homeless, or if you ever seen a homeless guy asking for change, a lot of people don't give him change. I'm paying on plastic. I'm paying on credit card. I don't carry money. Sorry, And it makes it really no difference when a person is living in their van, because they still consider it like you're homeless, When in reality, you can have a job and be living in your van and be making a nice living, And somebody brought it up to my attention. It was like, bro, that's like having a truck with a sleeper in the back, like the big diesels, how they have the sleepers in the back. And that was a true statement, because it's pretty much what it is, you know. And if truckers could do it, and they're on the road for 3 or 4 weeks at a time, then, and they're living like that, then how come other people? Well, there's other people that could adapt to the same thing, and they have, as you can see from other YouTube videos. So, you know, Mort Gage is not just one person. Mort Gage is a society of people that are making it too. They're living day to day, and they're paying their mortgage. And as we know, mortgage is pretty expensive. And I couldn't understand how people say, I own my house, but every month you got a mortgage payment. So tell me this, if you own your house and you don't pay that mortgage payment, does the bank take it? And if the bank does take it, did you really own the house? Now, maybe I need to gather up more information before I could speak on such things like that. But from my knowledge, the bank is taking people's house, you know, and it's not even their house if you're paying mortgage. You own a house when all you're paying is gas, electricity, and water and stuff like that. You know, I think that's when you actually own your house. You're not making no mortgage payments. You pay maybe property tax every year. So I think I'm gonna wrap that up on the topic of Mort Gage, because Mort Gage is a society of people that pay mortgage. They're living on the system or on the grid. Now
I'm on the mic. I'll try to give you what you like. I can be soft. I can be.
Camper Dave did a video talking about, you know, if a girl, because I asked him, we was texting each other back and forth, and I asked him, I was like, bro, well, what if the girl wants you to move in? You know, would you move in? And the opinions and the point of view that he had were great. You know, they were so great that I added it to my favorites list. Now for me, the way I look at it, you know, at my age, you know, I'm in my mid-30s, and chances are I'm not gonna meet no girl that is single, that doesn't have kids, that wants to live in a van with me. But it's possible. But the few people, there are a few women that, you know, are qualified for that, because most women my age already have kids. And it is kind of insanely thinking if you're going to say, well, oh, how about you move in with me? Then where her kids going to go, you know? Or she might even have her own place. Now, if she has her own place, then I'm following the route of Camper Dave by saying, you know, even if I was to move in with her, I'm going to keep my van, you know? And if I'm moving in with her and I'm still able to save money, then my money that I'm going to be saving, because it's not our money, her money's not my money, and my money not her money, so it's still going to be that little separation thing. But I'm going to be still having the van parked, and I'm going to be dumping money into it. So when the day comes and we split up, because it's like a 80 to 90% chance that couples today don't stay together. So the person you with, you may not be with in 10 years. So, you know, if I was to move in, I'd still be put money into my van. What the thing is that conflicts with my van living, because if I was to move in or move into any house, and then like I got used to living in the house and then I go living in my van, it's going to be uncomfortable again. I'm out of the routine. I'm out of the loop. You know, and you know, right now I feel comfortable. Every night I'm sleeping in my van. I got a little routine down packed, and that's what I'm sticking to. If I change anything, it's gonna feel different once I get back to living in a van. Or you might get used to a person so much that when you go back to living in your van, you just feel empty. You don't feel that happiness no more because you got used to sleeping with her every night, you know? So, if a lady is single and she wants to live in a van, it probably won't work for me. It might, but you know, I'm the type of guy, I need my personal space, and I don't want to be around a person like 24/7, you know, all day. Now, I could be wrong, but the way I feel like right now is like, if I meet a girlfriend and she's cool with me living in a van and accepts that, you know, and she thinks about living in a van, you know, I'll let her spend the weekends with me, you know, maybe Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then Monday, she got to go back to her routine. She got to go back to her normal life. Like, I'm going to be doing me, you know. Then on the weekends, we could meet up, you know, go out to miniature golfing, go out to the movies, go out to a nice place to eat, which I don't see happening because I'd rather grill. Then that's cool too. Go out to Magic Mountain, you know, put a little bit of money aside and do some fun stuff, you know, because that'll be my girlfriend. But as far as her, like, moving in, if that was to happen, and I could be wrong for this, but, you know, I think I'll probably want to charge her like $150 a month. Somebody's saying, no, that's messed up, K. You charging her $150 a month for, and your van ain't even the room, it ain't even the house. How you charging her for, you know, rent? Well, the rent is for maintenance and stuff that's going to be needed on the van, you know. And plus, dude, women tend to have a lot of stuff, bro. Most likely she's not going to be able to live like with just a few clothes and, you know, a couple of pairs of shoes, you know. Women, shoot, dude, they got all kind of clothes, and therefore I have to go under the bed and start stashing stuff and having a little departments for her, and, you know, it's like, I don't know about all that, but I'm really down for having a girlfriend on the weekends, you know. And she's the chances are that when a girl meets you, or when she meets me, and I tell her, you know, the situation, you know, and she wants to see the van, she's going to see my setup, she's going to see the back of the cab, she's going to see my sleeping setup, you know, and she might be curious on, like, how do I do this? And so therefore, like, on the weekends or something, I'll show her, you know. We'll hang out during the day, and then at nighttime, it's one of those surroundings where it's, you know, it's got to be quiet, because I like quietness in the van when I'm stealth camping. I don't want to be talking like I'm talking to you guys with her and having a conversation and people walking by, you know. I think that's a no good, you know. That just blows stealth camping. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me, you know. And other people might do it, but I think in my situation, when it gets nighttime, you know, we'll go somewhere and we'll talk. We'll be talking and stuff, and then, but when we hit the stealth camping spot, we got to keep that talking to a minimum, you know. And then the next morning, I'll show her what I do and how it works, and, you know. But for a girl living in the van, she has to be free from all ties, you know, in terms of, shit, dude, I don't even know if that makes any sense, but, you know, like she can't have kids, and if she stays and she has her kids staying with her, that's not gonna work. It could be a weekend thing, you know. But if she doesn't have kids and she has a job, that's a plus. That's thumbs up, a plus, because even if she was living in a van, then it's more like, okay, she'll be doing her work, you know, hours out of the day, which will take her out of the van, and I could have some quiet personal time for me during the day. You know, I just don't want to be around a person all day and we're in the van, you know. Granted that we could go to a park, you know, and we could go to a park and we could hang out for hours at a time. Now that's very beneficial, and I think that's healthy for the relationship. You know, it's just how you do it. Now, it could work with a girl that's single, that has clothes, and maybe she just got kicked out of her place, and or she wants to stop paying rent because she's caught on to the good idea of living free and having a quality way of living over the quantity of possessions. Then yeah, and she's working, we could do half on a storage unit, I mean, like a 10 by 10. That should be enough room, She have her side and I have my side, and I mean, and we'll just pay half on the storage, and therefore it doesn't get cluttered in here, because living in a van, if things are not put in their right place, over time it begins to be cluttered, and that's not part of living the van life for my van adventures, not here on this channel. I'll feel sick if I was to show you guys a dysfunctional van with stuff all over the place, But yeah, so I'm gonna end the video. That's my thinking on a relationship with a girl living in a van, and it could be fun. It really can, When the cars pass by, dude, this van, it rocks a little bit. So I can imagine if I'm rocking the van with her, it's like, yeah. So, but there's times and there's places for that, and it's not what you do, but it's how you do it. Eventually, if you guys can see this, that little board right there, it's not a board, but it's part of the dresser. But what I'm gonna do is eventually I'm gonna put like another board as long as this on there, and it's gonna look like it's part of the dresser, but it's gonna be able to swivel out. So just imagine this being the board, and I'm able to swivel it out. And so therefore, when it's going across like this, like when it's going across like with that line, I'll be able to put a TV on there, and then I can watch the TV like right here, like a 19-inch, and then it just swivel out, and we could watch TV in front of us, some Netflix going, and that's eventually coming. But next month I gotta pay to get the wheel fixed on this tire. I mean, pay to get the wheel, the ball joints, the pit arm, the what else is wrong under there? The bush bearings and whatever all that stuff is. The mechanic was cool enough. He's gonna charge me $525 compared to $649 that the original tire store wanted in Van Adventures 1, so, and he told me since I paid him the $30 that I owed him a month later, he told me, he's like, well, just bring $425 in it, and then in the next month you could just give me $100, I was like, that's cool, because, it's probably hard to find a mechanic shop that'll do that. So that's it for this video. Hope I made a little bit of sense, and I'll check in with you guys next time.
If you what you